So this is the very first launch of Women, Wealth and Wisdom, and I want to take the opportunity to introduce everybody that's here, that's part of Women, Wealth and Wisdom, and also to just introduce ourselves so that our followers get to know a little bit more about each other and our story. So we're going to go through a series of questions, and which is designed to let our viewers know a little bit more about who we are, our journey, and how we got here, and why we're coming together as Women, Wealth and Wisdom. So we're going to start off with the basics. So who are we? Our names.
So I am Sheila Cabrakulin, and I'm a certified financial planner and behavioural money coach.
Thank you.
Yes, so my name is May Reyes. My business is called Reyes Group Australia, Accounting and Taxation. I am a public accountant and a registered tax agent.
I'm Lana Roos from Smartline Mortgage Advisors, and I do finance for our group.
Wonderful. My name is Mary Chung, and I'm the owner of Cora Property Real Estate, and I specialise in property management services. So, what do we all bring to this forum? What do you bring to this forum?
I think what I bring to the forum is my experience as a woman, first of all. I'm 45 years on the earth, but also I'm a student of money, of all things money and how money works and how humans work around money. So from that, it's how do we invest, how do we behave, how do we share and resources, and also how we actually make decisions or make no decisions about money. I think that's what I bring.
Okay. Yep.
So for me, what I bring in this forum is, I always said I'm an accountant my whole life. So I've seen my parents have their own business, and I could see that for me, entrepreneurship is the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to empower women with regards with entrepreneurship and also financial literacy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I bring 8 years of finance experience, but I also bring about 15 years of property investing and a quest for finding a way of wealth creation that's not a 9-to-5 job.
Yep. So I'm hoping to bring to the forum all topics related to property, from buying to selling to investing and everything in between. And some of the topics I'm going to be covering myself, and other areas I'm going to be bringing in industry experts as guests to provide information to our viewers. How do we get into this field? So how did you get into this field? What drew you to this field?
So the field of financial planning came about from basically wanting to understand how I was and how my family has been around money. So basically money has always been a key component of how we've structured our lives. So my parents have always been in business, they're accountants. So money in a sense has always been part of the fabric of what made us who we are. And also the use and misuse of money. And how it's such a big broad topic that basically no one really talks about or studies. And if you think about it, we don't learn about how to use money in school.
So true.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what brought me to the financial planning. So it was that quest towards understanding how money worked in the context of how people run their lives.
Yep.
Okay, so for me, reason why I'm in this path, besides that I grew up with a family have an accounting firm business, I actually see the importance of entrepreneurship rather than just having a 9-to-5 job, and also empowering women. So I guess that's getting it.
That's great.
So for me, my finance journey was really born from a love of property. Once I decided that a 9-to-5 job is not going to be for me, and it's not going to get me the freedom that I'm looking for, through my husband I was introduced to good old Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, the famous Robert Kiyosaki, and that really opened my eyes to how I think about money, how I think about wealth, how I respond to that. And I decided to buy my own property. And because property, for most people, need finance, a number of years later decided to become a broker so that I can help facilitate that property journey for myself.
Wonderful. For me, a few years ago, my family moved into property development, and at the time, I was at a crossroads in my career, I was working in the ICT industry for about 15 years, both in the local and global space. And I remember driving home one night, incredibly upset, because I didn't get to see my two young boys at the time. I was traveling probably about 3 to 4 hours round trip every day, going into work and coming back. But I didn't get to see my boys in the mornings. I saw them in the mornings when they were asleep, and I saw them at night time when they're asleep. And I saw them on weekends when I had the opportunity to, and I wasn't having to work again. So I wanted to do something that allowed me to spend some more time with my boys, to take them to soccer practices, taekwondos, swimming. Sometimes they like it, sometimes they don't, but that's okay. And also something that allowed me to be closer to home as well. So around the age of 40-something, I decided to change career paths. I studied for my license to get my Cert 4, and then I opened up my own agency in Blacktown late last year. So tell us about your why.
So my why really is to empower the people and causes that I love, so that together the world can actually be a place where everyone gets to fulfill their purpose in life, and people can actually experience joy, fulfillment, and the possibility of creating something new and realizing whatever it is that they actually dream about.
So that's your reason for going into your financial planning
exactly.
business.
I mean, and what I've realised too is that there are so many expressions of how that can turn out. I've just chosen to express it through educating people about money and becoming a financial advisor and learning how money works and how to make it work, so that money isn't in the way of you fulfilling what you want to fulfill on.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Nice. Yep. May?
Yes, so for me, my why is basically for entrepreneurship. So that's for me my way for giving financial literacy to everybody, and also empowering women what it means to have solid financial foundation.
And didn't your mum have an influence on why you decided to become an accountant?
Yes. Why I actually, focusing everybody like getting into entrepreneurship, because I grew up in a big family. My mom's got 10 brothers and sisters, and most of them are highly educated. But my mom is as well. It's just that I think my mom is thinking is more like, oh, I'm probably not as as smart as the other brothers and sisters. So she's like the rest of the brothers and sisters are into in a great career in government employees, and I think everybody's like I think Filipino culture is like you study hard, and then once you get study hard, like you get a good job, and then once you get a good job you work in the government is very secured.
Wow. Yeah.
So but my mom's different perspective is because she probably think like, oh, I'm probably not as smart as the rest of the brothers and sisters, so I'm probably gonna go to entrepreneurship and have my own business. But the good thing about my mom as well, she knew what is her weaknesses, and she's very humble start her own business. So she started like working in accounting firm, like a very low paying accounting clerk. And what's happening with her is she really learned from the grounds up, and then she decided like, look, I think I could run my own business. Back then, like how she do it is every store where there's a telephone number in there, she got that phone number, and then calling each and everyone, you might need an accountant or something. So that's how she that's why I was so inspired, like,
By your mum.
how she, start the business
Yeah.
from grounds up.
Yeah.
So I said, like, you really inspired me, mom.
Mm.
But the thing in my case, like, I already started as, the COO, the child of the owner. So I said, like, I really would like to experience that, like, from grounds up. So I said, like, how can I do that where I already got the privilege
Yeah.
here and everything. So I said, like, I think I would like to start doing on my own and then go to a different country
Yeah.
and then really start from
Yeah.
the bottoms up as well. So that's how I get into accounting because of my parents. And at the same time, I see the value of it. Like, I think, as what they always said, accounting is the language of business.
Yeah.
And so for me as well, it's more than just the money already. It's more of having a financial literacy, because I could see that not everyone is financially literate.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are probably so smart, but they really don't know how to deal with money.
Money. Yeah. It's so true.
So, yes.
Thank you.
I think I'm talking to Sorry.
Lana, what's your why for becoming a mortgage broker?
I've got two whys, I think, because my property and finance journey started because I wanted to have some more control over what happens to the money that I earn. I wanted to grow it faster, to be honest, but I wanted to have a bigger say in what that looks like. And then I suppose my why for this group is I see clients week in and week out where the husband talks and the wife says nothing. I speak to my friends and they don't know where to access their bank statements, the females, because the husbands just do it. We're not even talking about wealth creation strategies. It's as simple as not knowing how to access their financial information. So getting back to what May said, I can see a clear distinction between financial literacy in the males and the females. And I want to change that. I want to empower people, especially females, to take the reins, make decisions for themselves, and especially with Sheila strategy, behavior around money is to recognize that. And I feel like I'm in a privileged position with my background and my training to help other females to not fall into traps.
Wow. That's pretty inspiring. I guess my why is I was in a relatively great position. The job that I had was paying very well, and I had a lot of perks that came along with the job. But I knew it was time for a change. And I had the opportunity to go and work for another company or to start something totally left field that I didn't know. Real estate is something that I didn't know, back then. And then my husband and I, we sat down and we were like, why do we want to do this? Why do we want to go and be our own business owners, And I think every business owner usually has a beginning of a dream or something that drives them. And for us, it's a bit of a blue sky dream, I suppose, that I think, gets you up in the morning, and when you've got your hard and tough times, it's kind of what drags you through and helps you through those times. And for us, it's come down to our tagline. Cora Properties' tagline is creating connected communities. So when we thought about our why, me becoming a real estate agent and my husband becoming a builder, what we wanted to do is one day create a development or an estate where it's very focused on community. So we're encouraging community facilities like community gardens, kitchens, halls, and encouraging people to really just get out there and just to get to know each other, do things together, and just come together and really get to share and support each other. Where, dare I say, like in the olden days where the kids can go out, and play, and you're not worried, and you just say, come back at sunset, and you're okay because your neighbours are going to look after your kids if they go astray and things like that. And that's something that we felt was missing, and that's something that we wanted to create. And I think having kids also kind of made us change, a bit of a shift in our mindset about what's going on with our community, and what's missing or what we would like to leave behind for our kids as well. So that's kind of what we wanted to build one day. And whether this happens or not, we're going to try. We're going to try our best to do it. So that's our pipe dream and our reason for starting our own business.
Wow.
So what qualifications do we have? Because there's a lot of forums that are out there that promote women's liberations or women's wealth or whatnot, women's support groups. But I think the key difference for our group is that we're all qualified in our own fields. We're all qualified and experts in our own fields. So what qualifications do we bring to this forum is that I have Class 1 license in real estate in New South Wales, and it's the license that's required to be able to own and operate your own agency, whether you want to be doing property management, whether you want to act as a sales agent or a buyer's agent in New South Wales for both commercial and residential.
So here's where my inner student comes in, because an economics degree, a diploma in financial planning and a certified financial planner. I then went on to become a registered tax agent, so I've got a graduate diploma in Australian tax law, a self-managed super fund specialist advisor, and a behavioural money coach now.
So your wall is
I
covered.
just got that.
Covered with
Fantastic.
Yeah, so for me, besides I grew up really in a field of accounting. So I studied my bachelor's degree in Philippines, and I also studied my master's degree of accounting here in Australia. I am a qualified accountant and a registered tax agent.
Well,
I have a diploma in finance and mortgage broking management, and the industry standard has only just been upgraded. So a vast majority of long-term bankers or brokers would only need experience or perhaps a Cert 4, and I decided to go straight to diploma. If I was going to do this, I was going to do it right.
yeah, good on you. Okay, so what experience do you have? So this is around what experience do you have within your field that you bring? So what experience do I have? I have experience in both commercial and residential property management. When I set up my own agency late last year, we specialise in property management, and the key difference that I think for us is that we're investors ourselves. So what that means is that we understand the financial and the emotional stress of letting go of your family home to the rental market, or owning a an investment property, and the financial stress of having to pay it out of your back pocket if it's sitting vacant for extended periods of time, or just worrying, is my property okay and being looked after, and thinking, why is my agent not ringing me, and how come I can never get in contact with my agent? So we understand all of this, and we cater for our landlord and tenants' needs. Sheila, what experience do you bring?
Well, I've had 25 years experience actually helping my clients, so that's everything from individual mums and dads, young starters, small business owners, in how to actually use money to build, protect and manage wealth, and also to have that empower whatever it is they're up for in life. Myself, I've been a share market or Australian shares and international shares investor for over 20 years, also invested in property in terms of family homes and things like that. Run self-managed super funds for myself and also for my family. So yeah, there's a lot of experience there across the breadth of wealth building and also wealth protection. So a lot of the insurance products and solutions that everyone needs to be able to, make sure that they can earn the money that they need to empower their dreams. Yeah.
Yes, so for me, with regards with what I could bring in here and my experience, so I started a business. So while I was actually working full time. So this is like a side hustle for me, and I could see, the journeys of people, because first is, they are actually an employee starting their jobs. Then later on, they made the decisions that, they would like to, buy their first home. And then later on decided, whether to buy a car or to get into business, and then later on to retirement. So I think in my experience is like, as I always said, accountant grows with you. So, you know, I even said like, you know, I think from till death, I guess. Yes, so you know, that's what they said. Like, you know, there's two certain things in this world, like death and taxes. So I think that's what I
So in terms of experience from the finance side, I finance residential purchases for investors and owner-occupiers, doing SMSF, business finance, the entire breadth of the finance industry. But what makes it powerful is that to back that up, I've been investing in property for 15 years, bought and sold numerous properties, still hold investment properties. So I know exactly what you're talking about for the rental managers. We also have shares, definitely need a good accountant. So it's a full service offering from the point of view that I've done most of it myself, which means I can stand in my client's shoes, which I can use to empower everyone.
I think that's what we've all got in common, isn't it? Like we've all stood in the shoes of our audience, whether they're clients or whether that's through our own personal experience or related experience from family as well.
And that's a difference. That's a huge difference that I think you bring to the market that people don't realise. And unless the client experiences that, they don't realise that. So once they know, once they've experienced working with somebody that has or is in their own shoes, right now, there's a different language and a different understanding that comes through, I think. Absolutely. All right. So why are we doing this? So why are we doing WWW? So for me, I'm doing this. I'm doing WWW because I wish that when I was younger, I was a little bit more wiser about money. I was earning quite a decent income. But as my salary increased, I think my spending increased as well. And I wish I had somebody to talk to about money back then, so that I think, you know, situation might have been a bit different. I think I would have had a bit more of a portfolio with properties, dabbled in shares, whatever it might be. But I was very naive with it. So I wish that there was this conversation taking place somewhere that I could tap into back then. And also, I guess, the other thing is money is an integral part of life, and it's funny that it's not something that I think we talk about often.
Not really.
No, and you know, we seem to, maybe it's an Australian culture or something, but we seem to have this she'll be right attitude, you know, and we kind of like sweep it under the carpet. Money comes over, it's kind of like she'll be right, and we sweep it under the carpet. And I want to create an opportunity where people don't just go she'll be right, but she'll be better. She'll be brilliant, or especially for women, she'll be liberated. She'll be financially liberated. You know, so that's my reason for doing WWW.
I think that's so common for all of us. You just nailed it in the head.
Said.
But for me, what always comes up to me is, okay, I can become part of the problem, or I can be part of the solution.
Yes.
So if not you, then who?
Yes.
And if not now, then when?
Yeah.
Like, I think we have to start talking about this stuff because women are retiring poorer and poorer. I don't want to live in my car because I didn't, or I don't want to see any woman I know living in their car or being homeless because they didn't have these conversations that we're about to have. Or even have conversations like this.
Yes, so I think for me, I think I would like to take out the stigma of money is bad. So I definitely agree with you, Mary, that, you know, we need to be educated financially. Because for me, money is just a tool. So if you're a good person, it's actually magnify you to be a good person. But if you are a jerk person, it actually magnify you to be more jerk.
Yes.
So money is just a tool. So money is not bad at all.
Yeah. Lana, so why are you doing WWW?
I want to empower women to ask questions. I want women to feel like they have the right to understanding their finances. that they're entitled to ask questions, even though they are perceived to be tough questions. I want them to keep pushing forward and not just accept a certain role or a certain place or a certain idea of where they should be. And this group is so well suited to answering those questions, giving education, giving a feeling of freedom for women to know that it's okay for them to take charge of their financial freedom.
Cool.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so if there is one thing that you want our viewers or followers to take away from these videos or what we're doing, what would that be? The one thing that I'm hoping women will take out from Women, Wealth and Wisdom is confidence and questions. So I'm not proposing that our videos and our forums is going to give everybody all the answers, but I do want people to start thinking and talking about money and finance, their money and their finance, and we're hoping that we will also bring guests and experts from all areas of money, finance, property, all areas, to get people thinking about money and investment and properties and their financials. So what I'm hoping that this is going to do is start getting our followers to think smart about money and finance and be confident about the information that they already know, but also come to a realization about what they don't know as well. And then I want them to be really thirsty for knowledge, because we're going to bring experts in to talk about their field of expertise, whether it be from lawyers, to insurance brokers, to investment strategists, whatever it might be. And then we're giving them information so that they can start asking questions, become more thirsty for knowledge, and then know where to go to get answers, so that they can become more confident when they're making decisions about their finances and become more financially liberated that way. Sheila?
That we're going to be a source for them to actually get all the knowledge that they need to make this world of money work. And that they need to actually get to know themselves to then be able to take that knowledge and turn it into wisdom. Because what wisdom is when you actually take your knowledge and you start acting on it.
Yeah.
So you need to know who you are and what you're up for and what you want out of life, to then be able to take this knowledge that we're going to give them about money and finance and property and investing, the whole lot, to turn it into the wisdom, because there's actions involved. And you're working towards something.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with the applications. That's
Yeah.
the most important part, because knowledge is nothing. For you to convert it to wisdom, you need to apply it.
Exactly.
So yes, so for me, the way I could, contribute, help women empowered, is what it means to have solid financial foundations, because not everybody is, well educated and well informed what does it really means. So
I think initially I want our viewers and followers to look at us and say, there are 4 very diverse women, all had different starts in life, different educational paths, different choices. But the commonality is that we chose to own our decisions around money.
Yes.
And that would be a great start for our viewers to sign up and say, I want that for myself. Willing to look at themselves, look at how they react around money. Sheila can talk a lot about that. And feel comfortable enough to ask and learn and grow with us.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Well
Getting
said.
goosebumps, aren't we? Okay. Last question. Why and who should be watching the video? So, who should be watching this video? So, whilst the group is called Women, Wealth and Wisdom, and I think some of the topics that we may cover might be very targeted for women, I think that generally speaking, the forums and the discussions, the topics that we cover is going to be really for everybody. Everybody that's interested in money and finance and wealth creation, or financial liberation. It doesn't have to be wealth creation, just financial liberation. And we want to open up a Facebook group and to provide a safe and encouraging and a supportive group where we're going to encourage people to just talk about their money, financial situations, any questions that they might have, and we're going to be encouraging everyone to join and to participate and to support each other. Whilst we say the group is called Women, Wealth and Wisdom, I think it's really for everybody.
Oh, agree. Because I think the one thing that women will do is they will actually broaden the conversation, just the theory and the basics and the mechanics of something. We'll engage both sides of our brain, our head and our heart, usually working at the same time. And that's why we're so good at talking about money, when we actually do open those doors and actually start talking about money.
Yeah.
Because we are going to look at it from this multifaceted point of view. Yeah, and from the different points of view that are around here, and also out in our, amongst our followers as well.
Yeah.
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 That's for anyone really who wants a whole conversation.
Yeah.
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 May?
For me, like, I certainly believe that women is, great influencer. So I think by targeting women, you target basically all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So everyone? Yep.
Yeah, it's very similar for me. We might start with the concept of empowering women,
Yeah.
but we can very confidently say that empowered women will take that knowledge and that wisdom and spread it through the community.
Yeah.
So it will truly be for the betterment of everyone.
Wonderful.
Definitely.
Thank you.
I'm doing www.
There's a voice.
You have a cure.
Don't ask the questions right now. Later.
We've got 16 seconds.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. We'll have to do that.
Okay.